And just right now, he announced how many business partners he had. 5. Okay. He is on a roll. He is someone that's going to grow immensely in this business because in 5 months, if he's going to be recruiting like that, sky's the limit, right? Yes. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Chandler Thomas.
Who's excited this morning?
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
You gotta do me a huge favor. I'm not feeling the energy in here. I need everybody to everybody. I want everybody to say, I am a boss. I am a boss. I am a CEO. I am the ownership of my business. I am a creator. High five your neighbor and say, I am a creator.
I'm a creator.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. I want to first thank Jack and Kareem for having me here to present today. It's an honor and a blessing to be speaking on the stage. I've only been in the business for a few months, and I just feel the love and everything from you guys has been amazing. From my awesome SMDs, Ms. Floor and Ms. Sephora, have been helping me every single part of the way. So before I get into it, I want to give a brief story about who I am, where I'm from, and a little bit about my background. So, name is Chandler Thomas, born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. Was an athlete all of my life, played basketball, always competitive, always looking to compete, always looking to just go for that extra mile, put in that extra work to achieve my goals and dreams. At a young age, my dad was very hard on me. He was always pushing me, and it taught me that growing up, the only person that can hold you back in your life is who? Yourself, right? So when you understand that, you get out of your head, you're able to actually achieve greatness, right? I want to thank Jack for his lovely training last week of teaching everybody to get out of their head and to really grow themselves, right? So for me, when I'm out prospecting, when I'm out helping people, when I'm out growing, I know that the only thing that's separating you from the people that are on stage at convention is what they're doing, their mentality, their mindset. Everybody's given the same 24 hours in a day as between a bum and a billionaire, right? Only thing different is one thing. One thing that's different, anybody know? Mindset and then information, right? So if you have those two things, the sky's the limit, right? So today, my title is Brick by Brick, because when I was first brought into the business, I was brought to two previous BPMs, one at the West LA office, one at the Playa office, and I just wasn't feeling the energy from the person. You know, I was in a previous business, and you know, I loved the WFG platform, I loved everything it had to offer, but at that time, it just didn't feel good to me. You know, it wasn't anything they were doing, it just wasn't a good fit. Then I met my business partner, Donald. Everybody get a hand up for Donald. So Donald actually introduced me to, reintroduced me to the business, and we had a coffee day with Ms. Ford and Ms. Sephora, and for some reason, I just felt like it was the time, right? It was the time for me to, let's make this thing happen, right? After you hear things 1, 2, 3 times, it's like God telling you, like, okay, now wake up. It's time, right? It's time. So at that point, I was able to really like dive in. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't all in at first. I wasn't all in. You can ask Flora, was I all in?
No.
I was like, I don't know, like, I already did insurance before. My mindset wasn't right? And it took me like time again of actually like focusing my mind and changing how I thought about myself and how I thought about my business, right? And the biggest thing that we get caught up with is what everybody else is thinking about, right? Raise your hand if you thought, if like one day you're waking up and everything you're thinking about, oh, do I want to wear this outfit? Do I want to drive this car? Do I want to do this? It's because somebody else, we're thinking about what everybody else is thinking, right?
Yeah.
One secret, they're not thinking about you. They're not. They're too busy thinking about themselves, right? To think about you guys, think about that. So you're all in your head thinking about them, and they're all in their head thinking about them, right? So brick by brick, I say you're one prospect away from blowing up your business. Literally one, just one. You never know who knows who. They say you're 6 degrees of separation from everybody in your city, right? From the mayor to the president to Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. I hope I meet my 6 people so I can meet these guys, but you know, it's like this. So builder's mindset, right? You gotta have a builder's mindset because everything in life is built 3 times. And before I get into anything, I wanna give a shout out to one of my mentors. Thanks to Mr. Ford, Greg Capp. He's one of the top people in the industry. He has a podcast called Set for Life. And what this podcast does is breaks down the business. It's pretty much like reading the system manual every single day in the podcast. And I'm literally getting taught by a 7-figure, 8-figure earner in the business every day when I'm driving my car, right? So a lot of things that I'm learning, a lot of things that I've taken from the podcast, I'll be talking about today. So he says everything is built 3 times, right? Before anything is built, first it's built in somebody's what? Mind. Right, the mind. Somebody has to create it in their mind before anything's actually put on what? Paper, right? So before anything is created, you have to put that thought in your mind. Your thoughts are powerful. The things that you put in your mind are the things that you can put on paper, and then you can build them physically, right? So then you think of like a blueprint or a house or a graph or a picture or whatever you're doing, you're putting on paper. So our goals, our dreams, our aspirations, put them down on paper, right? And then we can start making them actually happen in real life, right? So for me, it was really, I have a goal and my passion, I love to speak, and one of my goals I put on paper is that I want to be on stage at conventions speaking to thousands at WFG. That's my goal. I've written it down, I've planned it out, I've watched and learned from the top people in the company that are already doing that, and I'm following their blueprint of what they're telling me to do, right? One of my personal goals every single day is to get 10 phone numbers. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I don't know where I'm gonna do it, but I'm just gonna do it, right? Because there's so many excuses you can have throughout the day. Oh, I have to work, I have to do this, I have to do that. But at the end of the day, you have to figure out what is your goal, right? So, I say simplify and multiply, right? Because when things are simple, people can pick it up. Right? You gotta think a lot about people we're talking to every single day. They don't know everything about our business, right? They don't know everything. The majority of them are educated in school, and a lot of times, a lot of them didn't do too well in school, right? Let's be honest. A lot of people we're talking about aren't, the engineers, the rocket scientists, the people who are super brilliant. A lot of these people are everyday people, right? And when they're at home, they don't want to be taught like all this high level stuff. They're relaxing, they're comfortable. So you have, once you have to break it down, and I always love to say is like you want to give it in baby food, right? When you're feeding a baby, you're not giving a baby a steak, right? You're not giving a baby, full 5-course meal, right? You want to give a baby some baby food. Just give them a little bit so they get all the information. Give them a little bit so they actually understand it, but break it down. They say if you can't break the information down that a 5-year-old can understand it, you usually don't understand it, right? So break it down. And they say recruiter's mentality. You got to sell the dream, right? Sell the dream. Right? Every single one of you people in here has a dream, is what brought you here today, right? So you got to figure out what their dream is, right? So you got to figure out what they want. You got to give it to them, right? Everybody has a problem. Everybody is dealing with something. Figure out what that is and make WFG the solution. No matter what you're doing, no matter who you are, if you want to be an athlete, if you want to be a musician, if you want to be start your own company, if you want to do whatever you want to do, WFG can help you get there, right?
Yes.
Because everything needs what? Money, right? Everybody needs money to start and produce their dreams. So if you're able to have that, now you're able to get closer to what you want to do in your goal, right? And then it's two, sell the crusade. Sell the crusade. What are we doing, right? It says it right here. We're protecting 1 million people, or to empower 1 million people by protecting families, building wealth, and creating success, right? So you have to sell the dream. You have to give them a story. You have to be able to break it down so they actually can feel it in their heart, right? Because there's so many stories that we have just in this office that people need to hear about, right? There's so many people that we've helped. There's so many people that, families we have helped, lives we have changed. We have to let them know what we're doing. Every day I'm in the field, I'm telling them I'm on a financial literacy movement, right? We're empowering the community to take ownership of their finances, right? So if you tell people that they need to take ownership and stop relying on other people to do it, they feel more like, oh yeah, I definitely need to do that, right? I definitely need to take ownership. It's my money, right? I make them feel that it's their choice, but they have to do it, right? Give them an idea of what's going on and where our economy is going, and let them know that they're in it's a crisis, right? How many of your friends are working paycheck to paycheck, right? Let them know that. Like, what if you get hurt at work? What's gonna happen to you, right? And then I say, you gotta have a builder's mindset. I said, this is my favorite phrase. Because when I go to networking events, and when I go to different events and different things that I go to get out and meet people, mainly because I'm not from here, so my warm market is not here. They say you don't have a warm market. I don't have a warm market. My warm market is people I meet at the gym. That's as warm as we get. We're all here stuff. So, that's my warm market. But, I say you can make a sale, earn a commission. You can make a friend, earn a fortune. Let's say that again. Make a friend, earn a commission. Or, my bad. Make a sale, earn a commission, make a friend, earn a fortune. Would you rather have a sale and a commission, or a friend and a fortune? Right? We're in the people-pleasing business. We're not here to sell. We don't sell. We're here to make friends and help people get to their goals. Yes. Right? If we're here selling, we're like every other insurance company. We're not here selling insurance. We're here selling our dreams, help people get to where they want to go, right? And we're building connections with people so that they actually can grow off that, right? So, because it's easy to get a one-time sale and never see that client again, right? But think about making him a business partner, showing him the ins and outs of the business, right? Giving him now that steak dinner, that 5-course meal, and then showing them how they can multiply your sales, right? So, and lastly, you have to be a director of motivation, right? Are your words motivating your team? Are you constantly on the phone every day with your team, or at least once a week, letting them know like, hey, I'm here for you. What do you need? Let's get it up. Where do you go today? What are we planning on today? What are we doing, right? Because it's very easy in this business, even myself, to be like, I'm feeling good today. I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna talk to anybody. The game's on right now. Okay, let's put some popcorn. It's easy to do that. The brain naturally wants to be lazy. You want the easiest way out of everything, right? How many times you guys see like a path road, right? Or like a walkway, it's going straight and curved, but then you see the grass going like this. You're like, let me go this way, right? Naturally, our brains want to make things easy for us. They don't want us to do the hard thing, right? But sometimes breaking out of that comfort zone allows us to get there, right? So sometimes we have to make things hard for us. And then it's a builder's mindset, right? Be a builder of business and focus on distribution, right? We're in a distribution business, right? So when I say distribution, it's like outlets. I tell people this, right? Would you rather sell a burger at McDonald's, or would you rather own and franchise a McDonald's? Which one make you more money? Right? Because they have the dollar menu, for people who just want to make a sale. But then you have millions of dollars as you start franchising the business. So think of it as like that. Think of it as distribution. Think of being able to have multiple outlets, right? Multiple outlets of people all across the country, all across the world, distributing our products as a company, right? That's going to allow you to be able to do what? Make more friends and make a what? Exactly. So we want to be able to have multiple outlets. So it says we do what? First, we gotta go wide, right? That one brings income. You gotta go as wide as you can. So if they tell me I need 100 personal recruits, I'm gonna do it.
Let's do it.
Why not? Why not? What's holding you guys back? You know? You guys know 100 people, right?
Yeah.
They probably know 100 people, right? So go wide. That brings their income. You know, that's using your warm market. Like I said, my warm market was at the gym. You know, I'm just meeting people. I'm setting up coffee dates. I'm just trying to build that warm market because I want to go as wide as I can. You know, I won't be out there walking like this. Like, how wide can I get? You know, how wide can I get? So then it says go deep, right? That's when you build security. It's like, let's tap root. You know, let's tap root. As I meet and as I'm, you know, interviewing, and then after I get an interview with my SMD floor and they approve my new business partner, we're on the phone with their friends. You're calling up 5 people right now. You're in the office with your interview. You just got to prove the business. You're on the phone right now with 5 of your friends. If I tell people, if you were at the airport right now and needed a ride, who would you call? Right? If your car broke down and you need somebody to pick you up, who would you call? Right? If you needed $100 right now and you were needing some bail money, who would you call? And we're getting all people on the phone right now. We're meeting them up one-on-one and we're inviting them to a BPM. Like that. We're not waiting. That's the warm market because they say 72 hours of a new recruit, you gotta get them fast started. 72 hours. So we're on the go. And then it says, I look for greedy people and not needy people. Right? What does that mean? Because there's 2 types of greed. There's good greed and bad greed. Bad greed is like, I want to get all this money for myself. I'm gonna take everything for myself. I see him doing well. No, I want that for myself. Good greed is, I want more for my family. I want a better life. My kids are so, I want more for them. I want more for my community. That's good greed, right? You want greedy people. There's people who are not greedy, they're like, I'm okay with life. Part-time job, minimum wage. That's good for me. Okay, you're not the right person. But you want the greedy people who want more, who want to go after it, who want to build, who want to grow, who want to improve the community, right? And then you don't want needy people. Needy people are the ones that, I need you to help me with this, I need this right now, I need some income right now, I need this, I need that. But they're not wanting to give up. Everything's for themselves. I need you to do this, I need for you, I need to do this, I need all this need they want in life, but they don't want to give out more. They just want to get more. A lot of people get stuck in this category because in our community it's all about what I can do for myself. What can I do for me? Right? So you don't want needy people, you want greedy people. And then every single day, how are you preparing for battle? Right? Preparing for battle, preparing for your day, preparing your prospect. What are you doing? We have, I'd say, risk rejection. The people in this business who risk the most rejection have the most results and the most success. What does that mean? Right? When you risk rejection, it's like you're going out and speaking to people. You might get the number, you might not. You might meet somebody, you might not. They might even say a few bad words about you. You don't know. But you want to risk rejection. The more risks you take in life, the more you can achieve, the more you can grow. Right? So you want to risk as much as you can. Constantly risking every single day.
Yes.
What is life without risk?
Boring.
Right?
Yes.
Think about how much more you can get if you just take that one more risk. Right? And then 2 is be confident in everything you do. Everything you do. Your confidence is like, it's like the energy you exude. People can feel confidence when you walk in the room. Right? You know those people who walk around with their chest sticking up and they're walking around like, that guy is about something right there. But if you're a hunchback, like trying to hide in the corner and you're like, people feel that. So if you're not confident in yourself, who can be confident in you? Right? So be confident in everything you do. Be confident in the business. Be confident in how you talk to people. Be confident because at the end of the day, they need your help. So when you're talking to these people, remember, you're a doctor and they're a patient bleeding out on the table right now. So if you know that they're hurting, if you see that, you got to come to their rescue. So when they're throwing up all these smoke screens of, nah, I'm good, man, I don't want to do that. Bro, it's not that you want to do, you need to do it. Yeah. Your life is in dire need. Right? You have a choice. You gotta stop giving people choices. People are scared. You know, most people live in two things right now, right? Fear or faith. Right? The majority, about 95% of people live in fear. Fear of everything. Fear runs their life. Right? And it took me, like, even myself, I had small parts of fear in my life, but I decided to do something crazy. One of my roommates was like, hey, wanna go skydiving? This is on a Sunday night. I was like, yeah, when do you wanna go? Tomorrow. Tomorrow? Why not? Right? So I took that risk, and once I jumped out of that plane, the whole world came at my fingertips. They say you don't really live until you get close to death. Right? So if you don't live, think about all the people, right? I love telling the story because think about all those movies, all those people who are diagnosed with a terminal illness, right? Or you have three months to live, right? And they go out and live their best life. Their best life. Why is that? Why do you wait till die to go try to live? Right? But think about all those people who do that, and they just have the best time of their life. And then they go back to the doctor, and the doctor's like, oh man, my bad, that was actually patient number 2. That wasn't good. I apologize, man, but you're okay. You're all right. You're good, you know? It happens. And then, obviously, we talked about, prospects need your help, but we'll also remember that, you gotta understand human nature. I'm learning this, and the reason why I love listening to Greg Capps' podcast is that he masters human nature. Masters it. To the point where you gotta understand what people do, right? You gotta understand how people think, right? The biggest one I love playing the trick on people is that people are naturally curious, right? They wanna know what you do. They're gonna ask you a million questions. I never give them the answer. Because if you give them the answer, why do they need to come?
That's right.
Make them curious. Oh, what do you do? I work in finance. Okay. What do you do? I help families. Okay. I help them save, invest, protect their income. All right. That's it. Keep them curious. Always, and when I'm always prospecting, I always turn the question back on them. I don't want to talk about money right now. It's not about me. It's about you. What do you need in life? Because when you do too much talking, that was my problem when I first started the business. I am vomiting in the business on people. They're like, if I come around, they're like, come over here, man. I'm like, what? That's like people running away for it. But that was me. I was just vomiting information like, oh my God, they're making so much money, they're doing this. They're like, so I learned that you gotta give people like baby food, baby steps, give them a little bit at a time, right? And then you gotta keep them focused on the vision, right? Of what we're doing, how we can help them, how we can get them to their goals. Because people, they always say this radio station, I always can't pronounce it, but it's what, WWII-FM. You guys listen to that station?
Yeah.
Right? What's in it for me, right? That's all they care about. You gotta think about it. Everybody's in their own heads. They don't care about, if you can make $1 million, what's in it for me? Always keep people on that station. Constantly keep them on the vision, constantly keep them on what you can do for them, what this company can do with them, and how WFG can solve all their issues and problems, right? And at the end, like Nike said, just do it. The more than just do it now, right? What's holding you back from exploding your business, right? What is every reason or whatever, excuse or whatever you do that's holding you back from your business? Just get rid of it. It might be tough, but life is tough. So for me, I have a few things I do when I'm meeting new people. Because for me, the warm market, I'm constantly expanding that. So I actually got this from Flora. Flora gave this first one. It's give a compliment. When you walk down the street, man, I love your dress. You should get that. Oh, that's awesome. That's okay, man. But what's your name?
Eleanor.
Oh, nice to meet you, Eleanor. I'm Chandler. Start a conversation. People love to be complimented. But when I compliment you, now you're not worried about me, you're not thinking I'm selling anything, it's I'm talking about you, and the whole time I'm talking about you. But in a sense, for us, it works, now you're doing what? An interview. See where the mindset's at, see what they're talking about, see how they're building. Now you're like, slightly interview them, but they're, oh my gosh, he wants to know about my gym. I'm even not that concerned about the dress, but that's okay. Or activities, what are they doing? Like, I love seeing people driving Lyft, driving Uber, charging scooters, any type of side hustle, because I've done them all. I love, they're like freaking, deers to a slaughter. Sorry to say that, but it's like they're so easy because they are showing you they need help. These people are really hustling. I've met and I've talked to people who literally drive Uber for 11, 12 hours a day, right? And I personally feel bad for them because they're almost like literally giving up their life, risking their, falling asleep at the wheel to help provide for their families. They need our help. They're bleeding out, and they're telling you we're bleeding out, right? So help them. Or if you see anything, if they're working or if they're any way you can start a conversation about what they're doing, use it. Just use it. And then I always talk about wearing, and then comments too. Like if you hear somebody say something, like I was in Starbucks, and I was actually with one of my new business partners, and we were getting his license and getting everything set up. And the guy was like, the guy was in the Starbucks. He was like, "Hey man, you should start a business." And he was talking to the other Starbucks employee, and I was just like, "Oh." So I'm over here hustling, and he's like, "Yeah man, you have all these good ideas." So you know what I mean? I'm just jumping in. "Hey, what's going on, guys? What business are you talking about? You run a business? What kind of business you want to start? Oh, what do you want to do? What are your goals? What are your dreams?" "I'm a financial success coach. I can help you get there." Like that. And then they're like, "Oh wait, oh wow. He wants to help me get to my goals." Yes, I do. Right? And then it's like I said, get the other person to do all the talking. You want to talk 20%, listen 80%. So if you get them opening up and talking, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I've been with some people, they be talking my ear off, man. I thought I was a talker. Some people 20, 30 minutes, because a lot of people don't get the chance to open up themselves, right? How many people really get a chance to tell you about how they feel, their goals, their dreams? They're not getting that at their 9 to 5, right? Just be quiet and go back to work. That's what happens at 9 to 5. They're not helping you get to your sense. When you said, "I can help you create success," people are like, "Oh, wow, dreams, what do you want to do?" And they just talk forever. Yeah. Right? So you get them to open up, and then you direct the conversation, right? You always know where you want to go. Yeah. It's like those very professional interviewers. They always ask those, people start talking one way, then they redirect them back over to the conversation, right? Always know how to control a conversation with certain things you say, certain questions you ask, what kind of funnel them back to the process of what we're initially do. At the end of the day, you want to make a friend and get a phone number. Every person you meet. They might be a potential business partner, they might be a potential client, they might just be a friend who knows millions of potential business partners and clients. You never know, but you have to make that friendship, that connection first, and then you see what happens. Because you never want to do what when you first meet somebody. Anybody know? Anybody? What's the one thing you never do when the first time you meet somebody? Or sell something, right? I don't know you. Why are you trying to sell me something? Like, people will really be offended. Like, because what? People don't buy from people they don't know and don't trust. So if they don't know and trust you, they're not going to do business with you. So if you're selling on the first night, you're already gone. That's gone. Next. So always build a connection, build a friendship, and then just ask for a phone number. And then approach, right? You always want to give a short, brief information about yourself, but not too much, right? Keep it very short, keep it very sweet, but right to the point, right? If you say certain words like financial success coach, I stole that from Jack, so that won't be Jack. But when you use certain words, it just edifies yourself and it lets them know that you're serious, right? So I'm a financial success coach, helping individuals achieve their goals financially and personally, right? They don't know what I do, they know I do that, So, and then keep the prospect curious about what you do. Always keep that action of curiosity, so that's gonna be that little extra push to get them to come to a VPN, right? To get them to come to a coffee date, to get them to come back and meet you again. Keep that prospect curious, right? And then keep the entire conversation laser focused on them. So when they start veering off, start asking what you do, back on them, back on them. Because Because what they're gonna do and what people do, human nature, is they wanna get all the information, they want it all right now. What do you do? How do you do? How much you pay? I don't have time for that. You have time to talk about them and you focus and act on them, right? And then avoid any type of disagreements, right? If they say they're a Lakers fan and I'm a Pacers fan, today I'm a Lakers fan as well. Sometimes, but with some of my friends at the gym, it's kind of cool. We argue a little bit. But most people, they like people that they can agree with. I learned this because like I'm always like, nah, man, Lakers stink. But for all my Lakers fans out there, I'm a LeBron fan, but not a Lakers fan. But
something in common.
Yeah.
Finding something in common.
Find a common point, whatever it is. If they love flowers, oh, I love flowers too. Roses, daffodils, lilies. Oh, yes. Right? Find that connection point because at the end of the day, they want to be able to connect with you. Right? Even when it's hard, sometimes you have no idea like what that person wants to connect with, but you have to find it somehow. Right? So always avoid disagreements because that's going to separate the prospect from you just a little bit. And every little inch is very important. And then leverage. This is my favorite one. This right here is my favorite one. Because when you leverage others, when you leverage your leadership, it makes your job a lot easier. When I'm talking to a prospect, I'm never talking about myself. I'm talking about my SMDs. Miss Flora, Mr. Cora, Jack and Kareem. I'm like letting them know what we have access to. Let them know who we work with. The environments they have. Like, my SMD was created multiple 6- and 7-figure earners. They're like, wow. In their mind, they're thinking, I could be the next one. Right? Always leverage, edify, 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 edify. I love doing that. It's almost like I feel like I'm the announcer right before the NBA the games when they come out and they're like, oh, Los Angeles, California. That type of stuff. For me, I feel like when I'm doing that, it's making my job easier because I take the spotlight off me and I put it to someone with more results. You know what I mean? Utilize what they do for your business, right? The more you edify your leadership, the more you put it on them, right? The more you talk about what they can do for them, it's not about what you can do. Always say, get yourself out. I'd say, get yourself out of your own way, but also stop being the bottleneck of your business, right? So when everybody looks at the opportunity through you, they might not like what you're doing. They might not like what you're doing. But when you talk about Jack and Kareem and all your beliefs for SMDs, they don't know them. So they can't judge it. People are constantly trying to figure out how they can say what?
No.
That's natural human nature.
Yes.
Whatever they're doing, they want to say no. Our job is getting over that no. Changing their mindset, right? And understanding when somebody's actually open, somebody's closed. I think I said this from the Jackson. You can't open a closed door. Or was it? You can't walk into a closed door, right? You can't. So always figure out if they're open, but most importantly, take the limelight off of you and edify your leadership, right? Speak more about them than you do about yourself, right? Because when they hear you talking about others, naturally in their mind, they're like, wow, this person really is talking, now it's not about me, it's not about self, it's about my team and what we do, right? Because in their mind, they're thinking, okay, wow, he talks really good, this person. I really want to meet this person. Boom, we met BPM. So it's always what we're trying to do. We're trying to funnel them, trying to make that connection, and you want to edify your leadership, right? The more I talk about them, less I'm talking about me, it's easier on myself. And then when I'm leveraging what they do, it just makes the whole process very streamlined, right? So edify your SMBs, edify your leadership, and the more you edify, watch your business multiply. And then close, right? You have to close every single client, even our business partner, always be looking to close the deal. It's great to have a wonderful conversation, but leave without a phone number. Right? Now you're like, darn, I like that person. Was there no, oh man. Personally, I know I had a conversation with a guy in Starbucks as well, and great guy. He was in the military, he just retired. Looking for multiple ways to make some extra income. And I looked at my phone, and I forgot the last digit of his number. It happens. But always, I'm saying, always be ready to, but yeah, always be looking to get, their phone. So always ask for a business card. I don't care who the person might be. They can be somebody, in basketball. So you got a business card? You got a business card? A lot of times they don't. A lot of the, people a lot of people don't walk around with a business card unless you're in the business world. So always ask for a business card, because now you're setting a precedent. They're like, dang it, this guy's professional. I don't have a business card, right? So when they always ask for a business card, don't always ask for the number first. Ask for a business card, and then ask for the number, right? So now they're like, okay, he's the one up in me now. Because, people are competitive. They're looking at you like, what does this guy have more than me, right? So they'll ask for a business card. If you don't have a business card, no problem. What's your phone number? I'll get it right here. Boom.
I like it.
They just smooth, and